Fuslie, bachelor degree holder in biological sciences, now turned full-time streamer and is a very impressive singer and guitar player.
Can you feel my teardrops of the loneliest girl?
Leslie began streaming because of a mere suggestion from a friend and has since become a welcome member of the 100 Thieves gaming organisation and one of the biggest female streamers in the scene. But just how did Fuslie go from barely associating with the gaming sphere to having a Twitch channel with over 1.2 million followers and joining one of the most popular gaming organisations seen today? Hello all, my name is Harness, and in today's video we're going to be answering the question of who is Fuslie. Leslie's story started on the 23rd of November 1992 in the San Francisco Bay Area. Leslie picked up music early on in her life and would go on to attend Homestead High School in Cupertino. After graduating, Leslie attended university at the University of California, Irvine, where she would graduate with a bachelor's degree in biological sciences, and is also where she would meet several other friends of hers, one of her new friends being Kimi. While she was completing her degree, her career goal changed quite a lot throughout, from public health to nursing to biology to pre-med to pre-vet, but after being told by an actual vet of 20 years that her personality would be much better suited for something else, she instead decided to switch her program to learn how to teach, and so she would need to take a year off of her studies after graduating to pick up small-time jobs while applying to grad school. During this year off, she ended up joining a program called SPOP at UC Irvine, where she would introduce new students to the school. She ended up meeting quite a lot of new friends there, and coming up to the end of the program, Leslie came to the realization that she didn't want to lose all the friends that she made during her time there. One of her friends was a person named Raymond, who was looking for a house to live at, and Leslie joked about them moving in together, which then turned into a serious proposal where Leslie, Raymond and two others moved into a 4-bedroom place. Leslie noticed Raymond was constantly distracted by a game he was playing, and while Leslie at this point wasn't much of a gamer herself, she decided to eventually see what the hype was about, and asked to see what the game was. The game was League of Legends. She began playing alongside her 3 roommates, and she quickly became very addicted to the soul-crushing, mind-melting game. One of Leslie's other friends and roommate, who went by the name of Alex, was a fan of watching the live streaming platform Twitch, and would spend a lot of time watching a streamer called Becca. And Alex suggested that Leslie herself should start streaming, since he thought that she had a good personality for it and would enjoy it. To which at first she was very skeptical, but one day when her friends ditched her to go clubbing, she was all alone in the house and decided to take out her MacBook and search up how to stream, just to try it out. This would ignite the spark that led to her entire career, and as the market for female League streamers was small at the time, as well as her bubbly personality allowing her to stand out from the crowd, she began to grow in popularity rather quickly. Leslie would eventually end up studying in UCLA graduate school. 3 days before starting her studies, and roughly 6 months after she started streaming, she became partnered on Twitch, and she moved to LA with fellow streamer Angel's Kimi, who had become a very important person in her streaming life. But Leslie had to endure living with a really tight schedule for a couple of weeks, working as a teaching assistant by day and streaming by night, and the pressure she felt from living 2 lives and taking a car she wasn't actually interested in, combined with the final straw of her being in a car accident, led to a decision of dropping out of her grad school program to pursue streaming as a full-time career. Fuslie's channel would grow naturally thanks mostly to her unique bubbly personality, and her connections as a partnered League streamer would grow throughout the scene, and she began to get invited to Riot hosted events, allowing her to meet and become friends with other League creators such as Lily, Pokey, Neekert, Tyler1 and others. Alongside Kimi, she would also eventually join her first gaming org as a streamer, the Immortals, but would silently leave after her contract expired, and the same thing happened with Graveyard Org, Phoenix 1. She was also featured in a PewDiePie stream fails video. League of Legends was her primary game of choice for streaming. She attended a lot of League events, had a lot of friends in the League scene, and almost entirely only streamed League, as well as a couple of PlayStation games. Eventually though, she decided to branch out in terms of content, and was on the hunt for a new kind of video game addiction, which came in the form of another popular esports title, CSGO, which brought along its own unique experience.
Yo, Purple, listen, let your boyfriend play, Purple.
Angel's Kimi and Leslie would become very close friends and would partake in a lot of collaboration streams and videos together, and would hang out a lot in general. And one day, Kimi hosted a fantasy league draft on a Skype call where Fuslie would see the face of Edison for the first time. These two would eventually meet in person when Kimi invited Edison to stay over at their apartment so that he could attend a Riot event, which would then be the beginning of a long-lasting happy relationship. Leslie and Kimi also made a YouTube channel called Keemsley and then abandoned it 3 months later. Soon after, the pair moved into the Just Friends house, which was a gaming content house similar to offline TV, created and started by Boxbox on April 22nd, 2018, as he was looking for a way to collab with his friends and to create more IRL content instead of sticking with the same League content he'd been making for years. Unfortunately, this didn't last long though, and the Just Friends house was disbanded 6 months later due to running into financial problems, as well as the house that they had been living in began to fall apart, with constant sewage problems, no AC, and extremely high electricity costs. The group were still close friends though, and a month after the house disbanding, Boxbox and Fuslie came up with and hosted an idea which they called Streamer Camp, where they invited a bunch of fellow friends and upcoming streamers to stay at a B&B that they rented to partake in various challenges throughout their 4-day stay to improve and test their content creating skills, which turned out to be super successful considering 4 of the 6 competitors would go on to become full-time creators, and this also being where John and Jody met. Fuslie would go on to live in an apartment and would continue a streak of her regular stream content, and she would also become more involved with the members of the offline TV house. Eventually, Fuslie got engaged to Edison in 2019 after he completed a month-long streaming challenge, and then came along COVID. And with COVID came along Among Us. Among Us was a game that brought a lot of popularity to a lot of creators, including Fuslie, mostly because of its timing with COVID, which meant that more people were sat at home watching their favourite streamers, and the nature of the game itself created a large number of collaborations between streamers, allowing communities to be mixed and for smaller creators to be exposed to a wider audience. Unfortunately, 5.5 years into their relationship and 3 years after getting engaged, Leslie and Edison began to grow apart because of the dynamic of the relationship between 2 very busy streamers, who ended up having no time for each other, which then meant they had to let each other go. The popularity Fuslie gained from Among Us propelled her career forward, and she ended up with an opportunity to sign with 100 Thieves as a creator, alongside the likes of Kaide, Austin Show and Valkyrie, with whom she now partakes in a large range of variety collab content with other members of the group, which then led to another big change, as she has recently signed a deal to stream on YouTube instead of Twitch, where she has been continuing to provide us with entertaining streams and videos to this day. And with that, we are all caught up with the Fuslie of today. As usual, if there's anything that I missed, be sure to leave it down in a comment below and I'll be sure to make note. But other than that, I very much hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, you know, all that. But yeah, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye for now.